Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. 3 o'clock. I'm in the building. Don't let the smoke fool you. It's just me. It's just the theatrics. It's me. It's me. It's me. I'm here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the one and the only, the Big Time Show. The Big Time Show is here once again. When you get a little older, you're glad to say that I'm here again. Shit. The way things going on around here, you just never know when it's your last one. So, hey, every chance I get, I'm celebrating. Big Time Show has been in existence going on 4 years now. When I first started, I didn't know who was going to come on. I was just having a blast. Still am. Really ain't been concerned about gigantic crowd. Never have. But however, the Lord has blessed, and I guess you could say he's breathed on the show to the point now where I have um, over combined on all platforms. I got to be pushing, right at probably right at 4,000 people who have subscribed or whatever. So, hey, I'm still having a blast. This is just fun for me. Really don't press on money because I have a job. If people like to contribute, that's another whole different story, but it's not a requirement. I'd be glad to come on here and talk cowboy talk with some folks who can't get enough of the Dallas Cowboys. And so here we are, big time show, 3:00. What's going on, everybody? I guess since I'm there, let me just go ahead and say this. Listen, I hope you come in and like the show, wherever platform you're watching me on now, whatever that mechanism is for you to like it. If you're Facebook, you hit that like button. I need about 20 of them. It ain't going to take you about 3 seconds. The more you smash it, let me get in front of the camera. I think I just did it 20 times right there. That was less than 4 seconds. If you do that, that'll be appreciated. If you're on YouTube, double tap this screen. You'll see a thumbs up come up. So I need you to do that. I need you to do that twice. No, I need you to do that 40 times. That will give me 20 likes. I need you to do that for me real quick. It ain't gonna take long, I promise. Just hit that. If you desire to help your boy out by patronizing the podcast, you can do that. If you're on Facebook, you can use those stars. If you're on YouTube, you can hit that super chat button down there. Once you're super chat, you'll see your super chat come across the bottom of the screen here, and that automatically lets me know that I need to acknowledge your comment because you had the unction to pay one time, whatever it is, whatever you want to pay, just to have your comment done. The least I could do is just read it. I mean, come on now. I believe in that. Help those or patronize those who patronize you. I believe in that. I believe that. So if you choose to do that, you can. It's not a requirement. However, you don't. What else I want to say? I hope you guys have caught some of my shows during the morning this week. Not early in the morning, but sometimes in the morning because I'm off. I'm off for the summer. And so it gives me an opportunity to come on with you guys early in the morning. Not early, somewhere around, between 10 and 11. I can come on. I realize some of you at work, but quite sure some of you saw it, at least on, on your notification on your phones. So if you watched it, I appreciate that. Whatever day you watched it, it didn't have to be live. It's there. And I appreciate that. Hello to everybody on, let's see what I got here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Appreciate all you guys for always popping in on your board, realizing that some of my brothers are on now. But, as I said to you guys before, when you got so many content creators and all of us are working, you just got to get in where you fit in. For me, 3:00 on Saturdays have always been my day. I don't fault brothers at all. There ain't no competition, at least not with me. When they decide to come on, if they come on at 3:00, guess what? They just come on at 3:00. It's not written down in the laws that say thou shalt not come on at 3:00 because big time is on at 3:00. It ain't done like that. So if people want to come on at 3, I don't care who it is. I don't have no problem with it. That's their choice. I'm gonna do what I've always done. I don't have no problem. Still love them. However, I will say this, and I'm guilty of that as well. I don't want to act like that, I'm almighty or anything like that. Especially for the smaller show, like I ain't talking about people like Law and Boss. They generated gigantic crowd anytime they jumped on. It's just like Joe. Joe just said he just jumped off Coach Marv to come watch my show. So obviously Coach Marv is on. So, but if you're not one of those huge ones, not myself included, Voch Lombardi, if you're not one of those types, they're gonna get thousands of people to watch you every time you come on. It might be smart to collaborate and jump on together and generate a crowd. That's just my thought. Because if people, like Joe just said, he just jumped off Coach Marv to jump on mine. Well, I don't like that, to be honest with you. I want Coach Marv to get all his views and all that type of stuff, and I'm quite sure he might feel the same. I don't know what time he started, so I don't know. I did get a notification, but I didn't look at the time. That was at least about an hour ago, maybe. Or maybe Coach Marv came on maybe about 2 o'clock or something like that, maybe. Hey, it is what it is. I'm going to have to call Coach Marv on that. Maybe we just need to do a Saturday show and combine the efforts. It's just called being smart. Now, if you one of these super guys, you know what I'm saying? Upper echelon, if you let me say that, of content creators, you can, and you're generating a huge number and all that type of stuff. You can do that. There's not no sweat off your back. But for the ones that's under, just a little step below, sometimes you got to use the tricks of the trade to get where you need to be. Enough education about that. Let's talk Cowboys talk. Let me speak to everybody real quick, and then be going. Joe, as I said, Joe's in the building watching from Italy. Terry, my brother, what's up? Daryl Brownlee, I appreciate you. Daryl says I'm the best in the business. Wow. Thank you. Robert King, how you doing, sir? So far, that's the only people that have spoken to me. I got a nice little crowd here that's on here. Whoever watching, I appreciate you. All right. Let's talk. I need y'all help today. And before I start, nobody's wrong on this. Nobody. It's just a matter of how, I guess, you perceive how you want your football team to be. And that will kind of determine your response for what I'm getting ready to say. I don't think nobody's wrong on this. It's just, I just think that it's a lot of different ways I can take this. So let me just go ahead and say it. I'm going to start it off with a home run. How about that? I think the Cowboys still do not value the running back position. I don't. The urgency is always somewhere else. And rightfully so. The Cowboys believe, and they've always believed, that if you're talking offense, they've always believed that, and most teams believe this, it's not like it's just the Cowboys, that the front, the offensive line is the way to go. And down through the years, as you look at the Cowboys' offensive lines and how much they have been paid, and how it seems that offensive linemen do not have to go through the stuff that Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, other than last year with Zach Martin, really. Usually the offensive linemen get their money, and it's not really a fight. Not at all. Zach Martin actually held out. One that really was a negotiation tactic. He was already under contract last year and held out in hopes of getting more money, and it obviously worked for him. He got paid again before he got retired. But usually the offensive linemen in Dallas never have had problems with getting paid or anything like that. So one thing that you cannot deny is that the attention to detail when it comes to offensive linemen has always been there for the Dallas Cowboys. All right. So that's the way that they've done it. Receivers, you know, and, you know, have to be their value. They know they got to have at least number one. They know that. They know that. When you start talking about the number 88, usually our number 88s are definitely number one wide receivers who have had tremendous production. You know, you can go all the way back, even before Jerry got here. You know, when we start talking about Drew Pearson and, you know, guys like that. We already know about Michael Irvin. We know about Dez. Having a number one wide receiver really has not been an issue when it comes to Dallas now. Adding a number two, you know, all that type of stuff. That's where the discussion kind of started. That's the value have been there for that, at least for having a dominant or a definite number one. Tight end, you know, Jason Witten hogged it up so long that, you know, you really couldn't say the value for that because Witten was so great that, you know, he hogged it up for all those years, so there was really not a need to, you know, really come at it, you know, like the urgency part is just never been there because Witten was so great. We've been kind of looking forward ever since, you know, Witten really left, you know, even though Ferg is pretty good, you know, after that, you know, we had Schultz, but we really haven't, you know, it's not on Witten's level. You know, you don't get those type of guys off trees, like I like to say sometimes. You know, Witten is a Hall of Fame tight end, no doubt, no question, and he set a standard here, and it hadn't quite lived up to it since he left. It is what it is, but the attention for that is there. I don't know what happened when it came to running back. I think Zeke hurt them in their mentality. I think it did. I think it did. I really believe it did, because when they paid Zeke, everything went down. I ain't talking about Zeke personally. I'm just saying the mentality of the importance of the running back position went down. And therefore, to make a long story short, now we have this mentality of a running back by committee. That's what we do. That's what we have. Even when we've had even when we had a healthier Zeke and a Tony Pollard, we didn't kind of you know, it just not, even when they had it, they didn't feature the running back like we thought they would. You had two probably Pro Bowl running backs at the same time, and we didn't do it the way we were supposed to. So I think that we've been kind of you know, real nonchalant, at least with the urgency part. And I think it continues this season. And so I'm asking everybody, I guess, is this enough? I think we got the same question that we had pretty much last year. You know, last year we just stumbled up on the 1,000-yard rusher with Rico. They probably weren't expecting it. we stumbled up on it because when Dak went down, we had no choice but to run the ball, really. You didn't want the ball in the hands of Cooper Rush the whole game, throwing it around like he was Tony Romo or somebody. You didn't want that. So we stumbled upon a pretty good running back in Rico. And Rico, of course, left on his own. And he's gone, obviously. So now we have this mentality like we got, 5, 6 guys. And to be truthful, we really don't know how, who's quote unquote RB1. Who's the running back? I mean, who is it? And I want to throw up something today saying I don't think that's what they're looking for in the first place. I don't think they're looking for a running back one. I don't think that when you say a running back one, you're expecting all types of, you're expecting all types of running back one type, standards. And I don't think that that's what they're looking for at all. I really believe, first of all, I'm going to tell y'all something. I done said it too many times. I'm going to say it again now. All right? Let me say this. I don't believe, y'all, that we're going to run the ball like everybody think we are. I just don't see it. I don't. Because of the obvious. That's the reason why. I just don't. And then when you look at the running back room, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it. Look at the lineup. And y'all, I mean, if you were a coach, you tell me. I believe that the Cowboys I believe that they will run it. They will have the ability to run it when they want to run it. But if you had to pick a choice on what kind of a team this offensive team is going to be, I believe that most of you will be leaning toward the fact that we're going to be passing the ball a lot. I mean, look at the lineup. Wouldn't you pass it? I mean, I don't get it. You got a $60 million quarterback. You got a $35 million all-pro wide receiver. Then you done added a possible number one, a dominant receiver on the other side. And you got Jake Ferguson in the middle. I don't see how everybody thinking we just finna turn into a Derrick Henry, pound and ground, No, I just don't see that. I don't. So based off of that, and then if you listen to Coach Schottenheimer a couple days ago, he gave you a sneak peek into what the offense would be. The term West Coast offense came in, and that we're going to keep everything the way that it is, and we're going to add a few more, wrinkles inside, some certain different type of things that they're going to do. But make no mistake about it, I don't know. Now, I'm not going to say that we're not going to run the ball, because if you really know how this thing really goes, you're going to have to run the ball. I don't want to sound too contradictory, because you're going to have to run it based off of your division. Look at our division. Look at the defenses. You better run the ball. Oh, ain't no question. No question. You got no choice. Just the first 2 games of the season is going to dictate that you have to be a physical football team. You can't finesse your way through this thing. This is not the old Houston Oilers Warren Moon run and gun team. This is not a pinball machine offense. You're going to get your brains kicked in. If you go to Philly And you thinking that we just gonna sling this thing around against Philadelphia's cornerbacks and safety. We gonna have Dak throw it 40 times, and if we get to 20 running the ball, then you're gonna lose by 25, if not 30. You're gonna get your brains beat out. And yes, when the Giants come to town the following week, and you look at who they have on defense, look, you're gonna have to run the ball. You're gonna have to establish. I think that's a real good word there. You're gonna have to establish physicality. You can't shotgun your way through this thing. It's not gonna work. Not this year. Just in the division alone, that's 6 ball games right there. You're gonna have to be physical against Washington, and we already know about Philly and the Giants. You got to be physical. There's no other question about it. You got to. So we will run the ball, but I believe everybody's drunk the Kool-Aid of Schottenheimer, being the offensive coordinator of the Jets when they went to the AFC Championship game those 2 years in a row, and he was the offensive coordinator. And then you look at the physical teams of Seattle, and Schottenheimer was the OC of that as well. And I believe, and then, you get the guy from Arizona, Coach Adams, who established, a very physical running game. Yes, that's their pedigree. But I caution to say that the Jets back then, under Parcells, they didn't have this offensive talent like we got here over here. The Mark Sanchez was the quarterback for 2 straight years. I believe it was Curtis Martin as the running back. You can't even hardly name the wide receivers back then. And it wasn't Keyshawn Johnson before everybody throw the name out there. They truly were a running team because they ain't had nothing at wide receiver. I think, oh my God, was it Wayne Krebet, if I'm not mistaken? Back then, wasn't he the best receiver for the Jets back then, if I'm not mistaken? I may be wrong. My mind going back now. They didn't have what we have now. The Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks were a physical, real great running football team that mirrored the persona of Pete Carroll, and Schottenheimer was a running back type play caller, and so it fit. But make no mistake about it. Listen, the Seahawks didn't have what we have over here, talent-wise at the wide receiver position. I mean, they had Tyler Lockett and I believe it was Doug Baldwin back then. But when you say those two names, you didn't consider them, top-notch wide receivers. They were very good now, no doubt. Tyler Lockett is very good. But he was never recognized as one of the top 2 or 3 best wide receivers in the game. No. They ran the ball. And I'm saying that to say, just because they had the pedigree, okay, that don't mean that we fit turn into a Derrick Henry type thing. Y'all, and I hope everybody not misquoting me here or misinterpreting what I'm saying. They will run the ball, but they're not going to forget about what the real strength of this team is. As of now, listen to me. As of now, because we haven't seen it, you hope that this offensive line is what everybody thinking it's going to be, but we haven't seen it. Okay? I have no question that as of now, the strongest unit on this offense has to be the wide receivers. It has to be. You might want to throw in Dak in that with it. I mean, because they're not strong for nothing if Dak is not throwing the ball. So, let's just put it like this: the passing game right now is stronger than the running game. And I guess somebody will say, well, we haven't seen Pickens either. Yeah, you're right. But if you had to bet money, you're betting money on saying that Pickens and Lamb gonna be okay. We can't say that quite yet about the running back room. This is what I'm gonna say about the running back room. This is what I'm gonna say. If things go, and this is how I've said it already. Okay, I've said this already. I hope y'all are with me, and I love y'all discussing. This is what I have to say about the running game, period. Because of your wide receivers that you have, that is going to demand a way that defenses have to play us. If I'm a defensive coordinator, if I am, I'm hardly ever, I mean, if at all, I'm never lining up in a single high safety look against the Dallas Cowboys. You're asking to get destroyed if you do that. You're asking for 30 points a game. You cannot line up single high safety, which means one-on-one coverage all the way around, against the Dallas Cowboys. Not with Pickens and Lamb out there. I throw in Ferguson too. I mean, you just can't do this. You can't. I don't see it, but that's why I'm here in Memphis. And that's why coaches are coaching and looking at film, and I hope they do it, but maybe they think they can get away with it. I don't know. We'll see. I think you're gonna have two safety shell look. All right. Which means you're gonna have your safeties at the hashes, and you're gonna be almost kind of like a cover two man type defense. Maybe possible little cover 3, maybe. 4. You can throw cover 4 in there. I mean, but you're just not gonna let these guys get behind you. So you're gonna have your safeties back, which would mean now, and I'm coming back to the original thought. I said all that to say this, which means that most of the time you will have a 7-on-7 type thing going on with the offensive line, tight end blocking against linebackers and defensive line. In other words, you won't have an 8-man box you got to run through a whole lot. It's going to be a 7-man box, which means that is your opportunity to run the football. So since that, I think that's going to be the case a lot. Now let's talk, because now the question is, with the running back that we have, are they good enough to run against a light box? That's all I got for you today. That's all I got right there. Can Javonte Williams, can he run against a light man box? And when I say run, can you average whoever the running back is? And I think it's going to be a committee anyway. I don't think you just don't see the number one running back and he going to have 28 carries and then somebody else going to have 9 or 10. I don't think it's going to be the case. I think it's almost going to be like started off and whoever get the hot hand, that's who they're going to roll with. I just believe that. But can Williams average 4 yards a pop? Hearing a lot about Miles Sanders. Hearing a lot about Miles Sanders is shocking everybody. How great he looks. All look like he got some juice. Okay. Can Miles Sanders give me 4 or a little over 4 yards a pop against a light box. I don't care who it is. I doubt very seriously that Deuce Vaughn would be a factor if he even is on this team. I don't even care. But if he is on this team, can Deuce Vaughn give you 4 yards a pop? I ain't even gonna question Jadon Blue. Cause see, to be honest with you, if there is a 7-man box and you really want to get this thing popping, if you really want to get this thing going, I'm calling it right now. Jadon Blue is going to hit his head on the goalpost from anywhere on this field if you want to really get it popping. Now, you want weapons everywhere? If you want to define who the number 1 running back ought to be, you give Jadon Blue, who got enough power and got enough wiggle, and Lord knows he has enough speed, that if he's running against a light man box, and if this line is what we think it's going to be, in other words, they will dominate. That's nothing else. If Jadon Blue is in that lineup, you may have, and depending on where Miles Sanders is, because Miles Sanders has some juice in him too. Well, he always has. But a lot of, everybody was saying he was washed and all that. That didn't come from Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer was saying, look, this dude's the truth. Whatever the case may be. See, I'm not questioning Blue averaging 4 yards a pop. I'm not even questioning Miles Sanders against a light box. Oh my God. I'm not sure about Javonte Williams yet. 2 years, off the knee injury. Some guys are never the same. He really hadn't played or anything. He ought to have fresh legs, but what are those legs? You see what I'm saying? Is he? I don't know. I have to see it. I don't care if it's Phil Maffa. If Maffa comes in, can he give me 4 yards a pop? Because all of them, except the obvious formations, like it's 3rd and inches or 4th and inches, you might have a single high safety then because they're going to try to really stop the run then. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, 1st down, 2nd down, the safety's going to be back. They're going to be scared of Lamb and Pickens and God knows if Turpin get in there with them at the same time, you're going to be scared to let somebody over the top, so the box is going to be light. That's really the question. Are these running backs good enough to I say something different if there was a stack box. I wouldn't be saying that, cause I wouldn't be saying can Sanders give me 4 yards a pop on a stack box. No, that wouldn't be the expectation. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be asking, can he give me, I'd be saying can Sanders give me 3.7 or something like that, 3.5. No, against a light box with this type of talent, as far as a Jadon Blue, if Sanders got anything in him, can they run against a light box? That's going to determine how good our running game really is. That's going to determine the play action game. That's going to determine everything. You see what I'm saying? So when we start talking about the running back room, at least this is my opinion, we can't look at it just solely off he hands the ball off to him. Can he get 4, 5? No. With the Cowboys, because the way they done set it up, it's not needed to have a quote-unquote Derrick Henry type running back. It's not needed. It'd be great, but it's not needed. Because they figured it out, and I think they are spot on. When you put in, and I keep hating to be repetitive, but It's really the truth. When you get a Pickens and a Lamb out there, you got to play defense a little bit differently. You got to. Because if you don't, Dak is going to put up 30 points on you quickly. We're not. It's just it's the way. So since I'm putting myself in a defensive coordinator position right now. I if I'm smart, I'm not playing the Cowboys the way they've been played the last few years. There's no way. You just it's just common sense. And let me take it a step further. You wouldn't even do this, and I ain't trying to be funny, but I'm just telling you the truth. You wouldn't do this in Madden. If you playing Madden, you're not going to put a single high look against the Dallas Cowboys, even in a video game. Shit. You're not. You will get 30 points put on you. And I'm talking real life now. You can't give Dak Prescott a singles high look. Man, Dak Prescott would be the MVP of this league if you do that. There's just no way that you can do this against the Cowboys. And because of that, I'm already knowing how they're going to line up. You get a little small, little disguises and all that type of stuff. But when the ball is hiked, that safety going back. He's not going to be in the box. So then again, the question is, can this committee room of running backs, can they run in a light box? That's the question. That's the question. And I put the number on there. Like, can Miles Sanders, if he's the guy, can you give me 4 yards a pop? Can you average that? Because you're going to have a light box. If it's blue, can you give me 4 yards a pop? If it's Javonte, same thing. Can you give me 4 yards a pop? If you give me 4 yards a pop, and it's 2nd and 6, with Dak Prescott as my quarterback, and I got them 2 guys that can dominate, and Lamb and Pickens out there, and I've got a very capable tight end who can control the middle in Jake, and you give me 2nd and 6, oh shit, let's play football. Oh yeah. With Dak Prescott is my quarterback, you give him 2nd and 6. Because see, 2nd down also is going to be a light box again. Because they ain't going to sneak up. So guess what? If you give me the running back, can you average 4 yards a pop? Now, of course, you're going to give me more than that sometimes. And you may even give me less than that. But let's just go, y'all just stay with me. And it's 2nd and 6. And let's just say that you get 4 yards a pop. Okay, we talking 3rd and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole playbook opens up after that. It ain't gonna be no too many 3rd and longs if we do what we can do. So my whole thing is not about it is about the play calling. It is. Like, are you gonna be consistent in calling running plays? Okay. But it is really all about, can we stay out of 3rd and long? Well, it's the obvious. And to be honest with you, I'm sorry. I just believe in the weaponry of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care if it is 3rd and long this year. We got enough firepower that can eliminate that. I'm sorry. It's just me. Call me a homer, whatever it is. But for today, oh, my brother in here, angry Cowboy fan. What's up? I'm sorry, I ain't see you. What's up with you? I ain't speak to a lot of people. William in here. What's up, William Kill? Okay. And all of this is dependent upon our line supposedly being one of the best in the game this year. There's a lot of people saying. Okay. I'm just basing it off that. Now, of course, if Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele are not you know, playing great as tackles, then we got to have another whole discussion. I really am not questioning BB, Tyler Smith, and I'm not even questioning Tyler Booker. I'm not questioning Tyler Booker. I believe in him already. Not a snap. Darian Dixon, how you doing? He says he's a first timer. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the Big Time Show and the family here. We just talking Dallas Cowboy football. That's what this show is all about. Just in case you don't know who I am. Obviously, you probably don't, but there my name is. I'm Big Time. This is the Big Time Show. Appreciate you popping in. I don't know if you're a Cowboy fan. If you're not, you cool. You can stay in and enjoy yourself. If you're a Cowboy hater, you can enjoy yourself. I don't mind. I'm not going to kick you out. You know, just as long as we keep everything respectful. Got me? Appreciate you popping in on me. Listen, if you like the show, subscribe to it. If you don't mind, welcome to the family. Turn on those notifications, that bell that you see on YouTube. And, of course, then you'll know when I come on live. All right? All right. Drew, I ain't know you was in here, man. What's up? You're a Philadelphia Eagle fan. He said, Big Time, what has the history of Dallas coaching shown you within the last 5 years? Shotty has been a part of that culture, just saying time will tell if the culture will change. Man, 35 years, Darren Dixon, you already a veteran. Welcome to the show, Doc. Appreciate you, man. Very, very nice. See, we let Philadelphia Eagle fans here, Darren. And this is one of them. He's a fan of the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. He's on one of the very few Philadelphia Eagle fans that I actually like. I can talk to him. I like him. I like Drew. Drew, my guy. And Drew brings up a part here, and I break his comment down. He said, what is the history shown? I don't think that it's fair to judge Schottenheimer based off of Mike McCarthy, because it was Mike McCarthy's offense and he was the play caller. So I don't know what, and yes, Schottenheimer. Hello, Sterling. Y'all forgive me. Let me speak to Sterling Sellers. Sterling Sellers, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the Big Time Show. If you don't know what this show's about, we talk Dallas Cowboys here. I am a Dallas Cowboy podcaster. This is the Big Time Show. If you're a Cowboy fan, welcome. If you are not a Cowboy fan, welcome. You're free here to make your discussion just as long as you're respectful with it. If you're a hater of the Cowboys, I don't mind you talking trash. I might recognize you, then again, I might not. But if you're a fan of the Cowboys, I'm just another guy that talk Cowboy talk, and I hope you like the show. And come hang with me sometime. Appreciate you popping in on me, first time viewer. All right, let me get back to it. Schottenheimer last year, as we know, was named as the offensive coordinator. But then that leaves the question, okay, to what extent? Like, if McCarthy is the installer of the offense, and that was his offense, that tell you, number one, that wasn't Schottenheimer's offense. Okay? Number two, he wasn't calling the plays. So, I mean, he observed the game. He probably saw some things and told told McCarthy. I'm quite sure McCarthy listened to him. We don't know what those things are, I'm saying, but when we're talking true impact or handprint on the game, Schottenheimer can't be charged with it. He was on the team, yes. Yes. He was part of the offense, yes. So I don't think that. I think Schottenheimer, just because he was named as head coach and will be play caller, I mean, he comes in with a clean slate. He didn't have anything to do with calling plays. So all those time management things, all that passing, that was not on Schottenheimer. That was on That was on McCarthy. Can't blame Schottenheimer for that. You see what I'm saying? So I can't say that one, Drew. I can't say that. He was a part of it, but he was not the architect. Can I say that? Of the culture. And I agree with you on your last statement. That, we'll see. Time will tell. No question. I agree with you on that. But we can't blame Schottenheimer for McCarthy's system. You can't. Even though he was, quote unquote, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys last year. See, the Cowboys have a different strategy for offensive coordinators than not many. They just have it in name, but not in deed. In other words, they may be the offensive coordinator, but it don't mean they calling the plays. The only one that got away with that was Kellen Moore when McCarthy first got here. We all know how that turned out. See what I'm saying? So we can't judge. See, in order to judge Schottenheimer, you're going to have to go back to see his offenses of the Jets and his offenses of the Seattle Seahawks. That's how far you got to go back to find his rhythm as far as play calling goes. And, kind of what he likes and second and long and second and short and all. You got to go all the way back. And then that's really not fair to him because, as I said earlier, you can't judge this Cowboys offense compared to Mark Sanchez and Wayne Krabet. I mean, come on now. You can't judge this offense compared to the Seattle offenses of Tyler Lockett and Doug Baldwin, because Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett can't compare to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. See the difference? So you really can't, you really don't know. See what I'm saying? You really can't. You can try to find the pattern, but man, Schottenheimer may say, man, what? Let me just go and kill y'all. The Cowboys' offense this year is kind of like it was a couple years ago with when we had Cooper, Lamb, and a healthy Michael Gallup, and a Tony Pollard, and a healthy Ezekiel Elliott. You just don't know what we were going to do. I mean, that's when Dak was at his best, when he gave him all these weapons, and they were scoring, they had number one offense in the league. I mean, this is where we at. We right back here. Now, the running back room is not as good as Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. But what I'm saying is, for today, is that based off of what we have, they may not necessarily have to be great. Just there it is, Justin. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it may not make a difference. To answer your question, Justin, who's our running back? I just sum it up by saying it's the committee. My only question is, and I'll say it again, and I'll be saying this all the way up until week 1. When we get that light box, can the offensive line move whoever it is in front of them so that the running backs can average 4 yards, as an average 4 yards a pop? Are we going to get 4 yards every running play? No, we're going to get some plays from loss and all that, 1 or 2 yards, all that. We know that's going to happen. But at the end of the night, can we look on the stats and say, okay, Javonte Williams, he averaged 4.2. Miles Sanders, he averaged 5.3. Blue, he averaged 4.8 for the game. I'm just saying. I just don't see how that's my only question about this offense. I know what Dak Prescott gonna do. I haven't seen it year after year. As long as he's healthy, he's going to give you over 4,000. He's going to give you 30 touchdowns. He's going to be right up there in completion percentage. He might have double-digit interceptions, and if he does, it ain't going to be astronomical. You see what I'm saying? I know what Dak going to do. I know what CeeDee Lamb going to do. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be right up there in the top of the league in receptions. He's going to have dang near 1,500 yards. You know, I'm just saying. The history shows for itself. Now, everybody ain't figured him out like that now. The only question I got is, number one, how are we going to, you know, I guess what I'm saying, the consistency. Oh, no, not consistency. The commitment to the running game. And that don't mean you running it 40 times. It's just that you're going to keep Dak Prescott out of the shotgun all goddamn game long. And you're going to run the ball. Jay Bryant, you're absolutely right. We all just guessing, but I think that Schottenheimer is the type of guy that he's consistent to himself. I don't think he's never had, as an offensive coordinator, this type of talent. I don't think, you know, all the teams that he's done that, he's had championship game of, you know, appearances by the team that he coordinated twice with the Jets. So he's been there at least on that level. But even on with the Jets back then, it was nothing like this type of talent, which may kind of change you a little bit in your style and your approach. We don't know that yet. I agree. We just guessing. We'll see how he responds. But I do know, and I got some coaches on here. I got some guys who watch film. Listen, I think it's safe to say that when you play the Cowboys as a defensive coordinator, you will not commit football suicide by lining up on a single high safety look against the Cowboys. You just, on a consistent basis. You may do it, you know, every now and then. See what I'm saying? You just won't do that. So then common sense tell me that you're going to, unless this line is bad. If this line is bad, then of course what I'm saying, you know, don't mean nothing. But if this line is anywhere good, like I think it's going to be, then you're going to see a lot of light boxes. So then, can the running backs run in a 7-man box? I think they can. Darren Dixon, he joined the show and he already swinging home runs. Darren said Mike McCarthy was a subpar coach at best. He was very outdated. Read it up here. He says his plays were outdated, was vanilla, and held no accountability, and his moral and the clock management was non-involved. Amen. You got to keep in mind, a lot of those games, you know, we talking about the 12 and 5 years now. A lot of those games weren't really close, the games that we won. We were ripping people apart. So, you know, the talent level was so great. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of the talent level overtook the coaching or the lack of coaching. You know. Really did. JD, what's up, man? JD came in. As usual, my brother JD come in swinging home runs. He wrote a whole book here. I can't even put it up on the screen. He said, what's up, big time? It's the difference between calling offense and leading the culture. Shot is not even keeping the philosophy. He said there would be bones left from the previous scheme. Shotty hired and the O-line coach is as OC, and got a highly reputable O-line coach from K-State to coach the O-line. They are showing they are making a hardcore effort in the churches to set up their identity. Shotty is bringing high energy in the mold of Pete Carroll, and he's taken all the years of being on the staff to help implement his rookie year as head coach. I agree, JD. Everything you said. Jay Bryan said, I think McCarthy wasn't subpar. He just wasn't working as a modern coach. He's 10 years out of date. Wow. Sterling. Man, I love you on the show, man. Your first time coming in, but you talking with a lot of sense. See, big time show is for those who, I ain't trying to be, wrong. I'm just saying. Usually my crowd is an older crowd like me. I'm 52 years old. And usually I attract guys and ladies around my age and all that type of stuff. And usually by now, most of us have seen football for at least minimum. And let me throw in those of us that have played football. So not only have we played it, then we broke down film, we watched film, and then we watched football, and we kind of know the game. And so when you come in on this show, this group here is just folks that know the game. And what Sterling just said right here just proves he's one of those people. He said you have to remember we have a new offensive and one of the youngest lines now. Training camp tells us a lot. Common sense. But Sterling, let me give you a little pushback. Since it's your first time, let me give you a little pushback on the first one. In the case of, I put both of them here. In the case of Steele and Guyton, my only question is how hard will Schottenheimer let them guys really go at it in training camp? And I'm talking about the defensive end battle against tackle battle. How much will he let them go? How much will he let the defensive end cut it loose against those two? See, if you really want to, because see, those jobs are pretty much presumed. Those are locks. Like Guyton is going to be our starting left tackle, and Steele is going to be our starting right tackle, right? So that's already known. So are you going to let Michael Parsons go at this dude to get him ready? Because see, he don't need to be going full speed for the first time against the Philadelphia Eagles. See what I'm saying? I need Guyton. Because see, I don't know I know how he played. He played decent last year. And everybody talking how much he's improved in his body at least and all that type of stuff. I need him to get baptized this training camp. I think Steele is going to be just fine, me personally, because he's 2 years off his knee now, injury. And that means whatever he is, this is about the best as you're going to get. And I think Steele is going to be outstanding this year. There's no setbacks. But are you going to let them get crunched? Or are you going to let them beat up some of our defensive ends in training camp? Because look, right after the Eagles, here come the Giants, and let me tell you something. You better have your stuff together then. We talking Thibodeau, and now the guy that I'm scared of. I can tell you that right now. Abdul Carter. I'm scared of him. That's who I wanted in the draft. I know we ain't no chance of getting him. I was just hoping some kind of way he dropped. Or push come sure the Cowboys get real crazy and go get him. That's who I wanted, Abdul Carter. I know what he gonna do. You better have you look. We don't need to be just finding out how physical they are. No. That's why I'm in favor of the old school training camp. Let them two guys get beat up, or to let them beat somebody up. Huh? You see what I'm saying? See, and we got good enough DNs right on this team. When you start talking about a Fowler and a Michael Parsons and a Nealon who's super strong, and we talking about Sam Williams who's fast and strong. The young kid that we just got from Boston College, Donovan. Forgive me for not pronouncing his last name right. I'm not even gonna try it. See, these are the type of guy you get a crazy Lil Fowl who will come off the edge like his hair on fire. You see what I'm saying? See, these are the guys that can get these guys right real quick. You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about some of the best. When you start talking about a Fowler and a Michael Parsons, Michael Parsons by himself, it don't get too much better than that. These are the guys that can get them right now. Get them. We ain't got to be waiting until week 1 and 2 and all that. No, they need to be ready to roll when we go to Philly on that Thursday night. Already ready for war. We ain't got to be trying to figure it out. So I training camp, at least for me, on that end, as far as the tackles, that's going to be kind of like, let them go. Let them go 100%. Let the chips fall where they may. But those two guys got to get ready. When you look at the pass rushers, I mean, good God. See, we ain't got time. I'm sorry for guiding. The training wheels is off the bike when it comes to him. We ain't got time. We don't. When you look at who we playing, and the pass rushers, Eagles first, Giants, the Bears next, Green Bay, that's Rashad Gary, the Jets, that's the kid that came from Green Bay that was dangerous a couple years ago. Forgive me for not knowing his name. I don't know who the Panthers have. We know what Washington have. That's Dan Quinn. So come on. There's going to be some pass rush there. There's pass rush with the Broncos. The Cardinals have pass rush. The Raiders, that's Max Crosby. The Eagles again. The Chiefs, that's pass rush. The Lions, that's Hutchinson, who will be back. And the other guy on the other end, I forgot his name. The Vikings. Vikings have the kid that made the Pro Bowl last year. Hey, my head ain't working. The Chargers always gonna have problems over there. Khalil Mack, even though he's a little older, but he still can get to the quarterback. The Giants. I mean, this is no time for training wheels. That's all I'm trying to say. So we ain't got time to babysit Tyler Guyton. We don't. I ain't worried about Steele. Steele know what time it is. He's been in offense for a while. He know what got to get done. We ain't got time to be figuring it out with Tyler Guyton. Since he's gonna be the star left tackle, he's gonna protect the blind side. Don't let him get baptized during training camp. I need Michael Parsons line up against him every day. I need him to punish Tyler Guyton. I need him to get ready because that's what he's getting ready to see during the regular season. I'm sorry. And let's go and get this out the way. Get your ego out of the way, Coach Schottenheimer. I'll say this. If you know Tyler Guyton, because we didn't do this last year, this is where the pride and ego came in. If you know that Tyler Guyton can't handle it, go on, slide the tight end over there. Just move him over there. We ain't got to figure this out. Or, you might want to bring Richards in the game. Son Richards, if he can get it done, so be it. But we ain't got time to be letting, we ain't got time for weak links right now. I'm sorry. Not because, see, when you made the move for Pickens, and you know that this what that would do for this offense, you may be really trying to win this year. Okay. So if we're really trying to win, we ain't got time for experimentations and training wheel. And Tyler's going to play better. He's going to no. Don't slide Ferguson over there, help out on the defensive end. Your running back may not be an outlet as far as catching the ball on third down. No, your running back needs to have the responsibility of chipping the defensive end that's going to come in that Guyton can't beat. If that's the case, you just won't have that one receiver. Sorry. We ain't got time for it. We just don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience. I don't. I want it done. Game 1. I ain't got time to figure it out and wait until week 4 or 5 to see the tendencies and strategy. No. I want it now. If Guyton is the guy, look, if Guyton is the guy, go ahead and get him ready in training camp by simply beating his brains out. If that is the case, either he gonna beat somebody's brains out or he gonna get whooped. It's just that simple. And we got the kind of players that play defensive end that can either embarrass him or he gonna get the job done. Really that simple. I need refs in there. Listen to me. I'm serious. I need refs. I need refs in there, and I need Micah Parsons lined up against him. Because check this out. I want the holding penalties called. If it's every play, if he can look, that's telling me you can't handle speed rush. If you got to hold every play, you can't handle speed rush. And Lord knows you about to see that during this season. So I need to know. I need to know. I want it all. I want referees there. I want Micah Parsons to line up. I want Nealon to try to run through him. I need Sam Williams, who can switch it up, who can run over him, run around him, run inside on him. I need it all. I want Tyler Guyton to get baptized by fire. That's what I want. If you were going to do what a lot, we got excited when Pickens came and everybody kind of changed their perspective. Like the Cowboys can win double-digit games this year. Cowboys might be able to win 11, 12 games. Cowboys could be right back battling for the division. That's what the narrative changed to once Pickens came here. That's how quick. Okay, let me tell you something. Ain't no sense of talking about that. If your left tackle can't get the job done. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm just serious. He has to come. Drew, I ain't even talking about that part. But that's the strategy. That's what the book says about how to attack Michael Parsons. You ain't wrong in what you're saying. I really want to save this next thing. I want to save this about, but I got a whole show because I'm gonna make y'all mad about Michael Parsons. Ooh, I'm gonna make y'all mad. Y'all gonna think I done turned in my cowboy card. Like I'm a traitor of the Dallas Cowboys. When I say what I'm gonna say about Michael Parsons, I'm gonna lose. I might even lose some of y'all as followers. I ain't gonna say it today. I'm gonna say it because it's gonna take a whole show. Cause y'all gonna borderline cuss me out. Y'all know I'm a preacher. Y'all know I'm an assistant pastor. Y'all gonna want to cuss the whole preacher out of me. Y'all gonna want to do it. I promise you. I'm gonna talk about Michael Parsons, and I'm just gonna say what my eyes have seen, and then I'm gonna go against what most of the narrative has been. Thank you, Drew. You remind me, but I ain't gonna do it today. I'm gonna do that probably Monday. William says, as of now, we still have no identity. My gut says we pass a lot. I'm saying the same thing, but I believe the Cowboys will be able to run it when they have to because the defensive coverage is going to beg for them to run the ball, and it's going to be a light box. And once you got these type of playmakers at running back, just one alone, when we start talking about Blue, you give him a light box and give him an opening, he very well go hit his head on the goalpost from anywhere on the field. He's that fast and he's that shifty, and he's dynamic in open field. So I believe we'll be able to do what we want to do as far as running the ball. I don't think that will be I don't think it's going to be, by a Derrick Henry type effort. In other words, just keep handing him the ball. That's not the way that we're going to do it. It's going to be by committee, and I believe we'll be able to run the ball. And as I said, my standard is, and y'all's may be different, my standard is can our guys run, give me at least 4 yards a pop in these light boxes that they're going to see. That's really on my own question. So I don't have no problem, y'all, to make a long story short. I really don't have a problem with the running back room as it is constructed right now. A lot of people keep saying we need another running back. We need a vet and all that type of stuff. I'm saying even if you had the vet, that don't mean that the vet would get, a whole bunch of carries and all that type of stuff. A lot of people want Nick Chubb and all that. The Chubb came in. To me, he'll just be another guy that's part of the committee. That's all. It don't mean because you got Chubb in here, he going to carry the ball 20 to 25 times a game. That's not what is going to happen. That's not the way our offense is built. It's built. It's just not. I don't even think it would turn into that way. I'm going to be honest with you. The way that Mike McCarthy calls plays, Derrick Henry wouldn't be Derrick Henry if he came to Dallas last year. Derrick Henry wouldn't have got the ball 25 to 28 times a game here in Dallas. That's just not in McCarthy. It's not in him. It's not. That we wouldn't even know how to use Derrick Henry. We'd be too scared to wear him out. Man, Baltimore handed that ball to that man. God, many times they wanted to. Derrick Henry just got stronger and stronger. Dallas would have been worried about, well, we're trying to save him. Oh, man, please. We wouldn't even know Mike McCarthy wouldn't even know how to use Derrick Henry properly. Wouldn't. Kellen Moore was forced to run the ball. It's not in his DNA to run the ball the way he did last year with Saquon. That was you had the best offensive line in the game in Philly, and you had the best running back in the game in Saquon, and common sense told you what you need to do. Play action game worked out perfectly. A.J. Brown over there pounding and crying and moaning and groaning, reading a book on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't getting the ball enough. But when you got an all-world running back that gave you over 2,000 yards, and you got the best offensive line in the game, man, you ain't mad now 'cause you gonna get that ring saying you're a world champion. Keep reading your book. See what I'm saying? So all y'all that want Chubb and whoever else you want, that don't mean Schottenheimer may be a little bit different. You might see a little bit more of the featured run game. Man, look, your offense is loaded with weaponry from the quarterback position and the wide receiver, and I guess you throw in the tight end position. They got to get the ball, y'all. They have to. They do. They have to get the ball. They have to. We ain't paying. Look, I'm telling y'all. See, I don't trust Jerry Jones. I don't care what y'all say. I don't trust Jerry Jones. I saw him get involved last year with Rico. Rico broke out against the Steelers, and Zeke Elliott started crying, moaning and groaning. They made up an injury for Rico. Rico was in a jogging suit. Wasn't nothing wrong with him. Mike McCarthy didn't like it at all, and he and Zeke Elliott was the number one running back the very next week. But nothing wrong with him. And the reason why that happened because Jerry Jones got involved and said, "Hey, Zeke need to run the ball. You get touches. You got to run the ball." And they messed up the whole rhythm because of Jerry Jones. And I'm telling you, and Schottenheimer's offense, they were usually leading the league in rushing attempts. So check the numbers out. There's nowhere in the world Jerry Jones could sit up there in that skybox up there and drinking Mai Tais and whatever else he's drinking. He's going to call Schottenheimer that office one day and going to say, "Hey, man, look, I got a quarterback that's making $60 million a year and a wide receiver. And I just paid $35 million a year. I didn't pay him for him to block. I paid him for his production on catching the football. The only way he can catch it is unless my quarterback throws it. I need my two guys to beat the ball. I can guarantee that can happen." Okay? I'm just telling you. That's what happened last year. There's nowhere in the world. It just ain't gonna happen. Jerry believes in selling tickets and seats. Trust me. He'll do that. I believe that. I hope I'm 1,000,000% wrong. I don't think I am. Been a Cowboy fan a long time. Been seeing Jerry Jones say things and do things. There's nowhere in the world that if Jerry Jones gets a report and looks at and say the Cowboys lead the league in rushing attempts, Jerry Jones ain't gonna just be too happy about it. No, yeah. Now, fan base may be happy about that, but the front office won't be. Paying too much money. I'm sorry, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. He did that to little Rico down and old Ezekiel Elliott. What do you think he's gonna do if Schottenheimer keep pounding him out? I just don't see it. So I agree. I believe we'll run it when we need to and when we have to and when we want to. I just don't think it's going to be at a high volume like a lot of people think it's going to be. And that's why it's really not a gigantic need for it. You know, I think that we're going to be excellent in running the ball. I do. I just don't think it's going to be like everybody thinking it's going to be. I don't. I got Dak Prescott on quarterback. He's throwing the ball. I mean, come on, man. He's throwing the ball. Look at all the weapons he got around him. He's throwing the ball, yo. You'd be a fool not to believe that. You look at 2 wide outside. You crazy to think that he's not throwing the ball a lot. I'm still saying Dak Prescott gonna throw the ball 30 times a game. I can see it. Between 30 and 35, I can see it. I can see it. Easily. I believe you have a combination of running backs that will equal out to be 20 to 25 plus carries a game. I can see that. That's a lot of plays, too. That's a lot of plays. Yeah, Quack. What's up, Quack? I ain't spoke to you. Yeah. I mean, it's really common sense. I mean, if you had this type of offense, wouldn't you throw the ball? And all that running like crazy went out the door once ESPN had on their ticker, and it said breaking news: George Pickens has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. All that changed. The offense changed right there. Exactly, Sterling. There you go. I love it, Sterling. Smart. You know, we said that on the previous show. This is what the offense really is. Like, defensive coordinator's job is to take away something. Okay, if you take away whatever you're trying to take away, ladies and gentlemen, you still got very, very crazy issues to deal with. Whatever you decide you want to take away, it's going to be a problem. I agree, Drew. I don't think it's going to be 70-30 by no means. I don't think it's going to be no 70-30. No, it ain't going to be like that. I don't think it's going to be 50-50 either. I think it'd be somewhat 64. And then again, Drew, you know, that's really going to depend on how the game is going. Like, if this offensive line can't block nobody, then the 70-30 will come into play. Just as simple. Like for instance, if we can't block y'all on Thursday night when we play Philly, if we can't block y'all front four, that gonna be in the shotgun. We're gonna test out y'all young cornerback and your safety, and we gonna see how y'all can handle it. It's just that simple. If we can't move y'all defensive front, it will be 70-30. It will be. But if we can block y'all, it might be 60-40. I don't never think it'd be 50-50. Right says during the cold weather, run. Well, that depends on, well, that's the way you want it to be. But that's all depending on where we playing too, Quack. Like, I don't care if it's December. If the game is in Dallas, we got a roof. You know, it all depends on where we playing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these stadiums is rare that you got some outside. Like, I'm gonna go from Thanksgiving. Let me see what the last half is. Let's see if all these are dome stadiums. We know the Chiefs are on Thanksgiving. Okay, that's in Dallas, so that's a roof. At Detroit, that's a roof. The Vikings come to Dallas after that. That's a roof in Dallas. Then we play the Chargers. That's in Dallas. That's a roof. Then we play Washington at Washington. So that's Christmas. That's outside. And then we play the Giants, the last game. So from Thanksgiving on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dome games and 2 outside games. You know, yeah, that Washington in December and the Giants right after that. Those are obviously gonna be cold games. We'll know what they are. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Just keep that in mind. You know, it is what it is. All right, man. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Join me on Monday. Yeah. Yeah. If you go, yeah, December, you can throw in maybe Green Bay with that too, quick. If Green Bay is what a lot of people thinking they gonna be, then obviously if you have to go on the road to them in January, you know what time it is at Lambeau Field during that time. Throw that in as well. All right. Y'all join me on just listen, just turn the notifications on. Appreciate you, Drew. Thank you, bro. Just turn the notifications on wherever you're watching me from. If you haven't, those that were new, Sterling and oh my God. Sterling, don't worry about it. I'm gonna find you again. Sterling, we had 2 first timers here. Hope y'all, Darren Dixon. Sterling and Darren Dixon. If you are, hopefully I impress you enough that you'll follow me. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button and turn those notifications on. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the show. That way, then turn that bell on and you get the notifications. And that way, as soon as I come on live, you'll get the notification on your phone and you can come on hang with me. And that's for our first time viewers. And for those that have not turned on your notifications by now, go ahead and do that and you'll know when I'm coming on, because I can't really just tell you when I'm coming on. I know I'm going to be available in the morning, somewhere between 10, 9, let me change it. Somewhere between 9:30, and maybe 10:30. That's when I would come on. So just turn on those notifications. My plan is to come on Monday morning. Okay. And I'm gonna miss y'all. Look, I gotta talk about Michael Parsons. Gotta talk about him. Not in a bad way. Nothing about his contract. Nothing about the possibility of him not practicing. Nothing about that. Y'all might want to come hang with me, because I'm gonna shock some of y'all. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna shock some of y'all. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. This is gonna be for Sterling and Darren Dixon. This is their first time. I'm old about, so I'm kind of on the smooth side. I'm a hip hop guy, but I'm not all like that. So I got all my intros and outros have been on the smooth side. That's because that's how I am. That's how I am. I'm Sterling. Welcome again to, hopefully you followed the show. And if so, welcome to the family. And we appreciate you popping in. And everybody else, you already know we can jam our way out of here. Everybody go ahead and get ready to bob your head a little while as we leave. I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks again for one more time hanging with me. This has been the one and the only, the Big Time Show.